Hey, it's Rabbi Shmuel Pollen. Great to have you back with me. Great to be with you. It's the Light Unto the Nations show, the most awesome show on YouTube. And we have a very important episode for you today. I don't think it will take long, but it is extremely important, an important distinction that we all need to make. And it has to do with the binding of Isaac and has to do with the show Breaking Bad. We've got like a 5,000 year difference between the things that we're comparing. And the question starts with, how could God command Abraham to sacrifice his son Isaac, his beloved son, his first son, the son that was going to carry on his message to the whole world and was going to keep his flame alive, so to speak, and ask him to sacrifice him on Mount Moriah on an altar like an animal? And the answer really is simple. And the answer is God was showing us that God is numero uno. God is number one. Hashem echad u'shmo echad. God is one and his name is one. He is the main priority. And what he says overrides family. Even though family is a tremendous, tremendous priority. It's one of the most important things in the world is your family. But God actually goes above that and beyond that. And you're going to see now why that has to be the case, why it cannot be any other way. Think of God as a lawgiver. He's the one who gives the law. He's the one who makes a code. Do you need a code before you know how to treat your own family? Before you know what to do for your family? Before you know the limits of what to do for your family? Can you do this without a code? You cannot. I'll give you three examples. Number one, Breaking Bad. Mr. White. His family was struggling with money. Satan swept in and gave him the opportunity to create a meth lab and to start selling meth. And you wound up dying because of it. So in the end, it didn't work out too well. When you go with Satan's plan, it never winds up doing too well in the long run, in the big picture. I don't remember the lady that was played by Jennifer Love Hewitt in The Client's List, but she was hard on money, and she decided to become a prostitute. She lost her husband. She lost her kids. She spent time in jail. She lost her reputation in the media. They exposed her. And she lost her self esteem and her sense of stability and knowing who she is and having a sense, a compass of who she really is. And then you have The Godfather, you have the Mafia. And all these movies represent reality. They're all based on real stories. These are real. The Godfather, they would do anything for each other. And it was all about the family, all about the family. You have to protect the family. You kill and sell drugs and do whatever it takes in the mafia. We know how evil the mafia became, all starting from this premise that if we have to do anything for the family, and it doesn't matter, damn, to whoever else is out there, we'll shoot them, we'll kill them, we'll wind up in jail. They also all wind up in jail. It never ends well when you go Satan's way. But this shows you that if you don't have a code first, you cannot relate to your family. You don't know what to do for your family and what you can't do for your family. And you wind up with prostitution, meth labs, and murder. Is that what you want? Is that what you really want? So God was saying that's not what you want. You need a code. You need a 10 commandments to tell you. You need a 7 Noahide laws to tell you. And you should all go learn about the 7 Noahide laws because this is the code for the non-Jew. Go to asknoah.org, asknoah.org, and learn about the Noahide code because this is the code that if you follow it, you will have a successful family. You'll have a beautiful family. You'll have a peaceful family. You'll have a wonderful family. You'll be awesome for the long term, for the big picture, going with God's way, not Satan's way, but sacrificing the present for the longer good, for the eternal good, whether that's the good in this world or the good in the next world. It usually comes out good in this world, but if it doesn't come out good in this world, it will be straightened out in the next world, and everyone will get what they deserve. All good will go recompensed, and all bad will be punished. And that's the situation. So God took Abraham to the limit. and said, I want you to do almost the most incomprehensible possible thing. So you should know one thing that will save humanity throughout all generations from meth labs and prostitution and murder, that God comes first. I know it seems strange, but you can't go on with a family without a code. It's impossible. You will wind up with these three types of things. You'll wind up with many more types of addiction and porn and intermarital abuse and all sorts of depravity for the sake of family. It's all for the sake of the family. No, there has to be a code. You have to follow that code, and that comes first. If you don't have a basis, if you don't have a strong foundation to a building, that's like what it is. These laws, this code, it's like the foundation to your building. You want to be in a family, you want to have a house, right? If you don't have a strong foundation to that house, you're all going to fall through. It's going to fall apart. You won't be able to be there. You won't be able to live. Well, you can't live in this world. You can't live in this country, and you can't live in this world without a code, without knowing to go, without God saying, this is where you can pass. This is what you can do for when you need money for your family, and this is what you may not do. And you must keep looking for another way to make money other than going into these sins of Satan, which get you nowhere and actually get you to hell in this world, as it's in the sense that it is hell, and hell in the next world in the sense that that is hell. We're at about 6 minutes. It was a short message, but very important to understand this distinction that God comes first, the lawgiver comes first, the code comes first, even if that means when he asks you to sacrifice your firstborn, because if you don't follow God and you follow family first, there will be murder, prostitution, and drugs. And that's the life we will live. So you have those two choices. You have the Binding of Isaac or Breaking Bad. You decide. God bless.